Hello students, myself Pradeep Kumar Patel, TGT Mathematics from JNV Gosala, Sambalpur, Odisha. Today we will discuss about experimental learning, and the objective of this experiment to find the height of a building using clinometer. Prerequisite knowledge, that means what we have learned already before this chapter. Knowledge about clinometer and property of right angle triangle. We have already learned in previous chapter in trigonometric identities. Understanding of the line of sight, angles of elevation and angle of depression. In this chapter we have already completed these three terms: line of sight, angle of elevation and angle of depression. When we see an object, the line of sight to the object is the line from our eye to the object. This is the figure mark. Here a person is observing the top of the school building, then the line joining the top of building and the eye of observer is here line of sight, and the line which is parallel to the ground level is known as here horizontal level. Here the object is above the horizontal level of the eye. We have to turn our head upward to view the object. The angle between the horizontal line and the line of sight is called the angle of elevation of the object from our eyes. Okay, in this figure, to view the top of this building, we have to move our head upward. ऊपर को देखना पड़ेगा. Next, mark the another figure. The person is on the top of the school building and she is observing the bus which is on the ground. Then here this is the line of sight, the line joining the object and the eye of observer, and the line which is parallel to the ground level, that is your horizontal line, and the angle between these two is your angle of depression. Angle of depression. Here the object is below the horizontal level of the eye. We have to turn our head downward to view the object. The angle between the horizontal line and the line of sight is called the angle of depression of the object from our eyes. In this case, when the person is observing the object which is below the horizontal line, then we have to move head downwards. Then to conduct this experiment, we need some required material, that is, one is clinometer, second is a measuring tape 50 meter long, a white sheet of paper, geometry box with pencil. These are the four required objects. Procedure for conducting this experiment: the first step, to measure the angle of elevation of the school building, place the clinometer at a suitable location and look through the hollow pipe. Mark the figure shown side. ये जो figure है देखो, this is the school building and this one is the instrument, that is clinometer. We have to place the clinometer from the distance of the school building. Okay, now rotate the semicircular protector so that the top of the building is visible through the other end. Yes, observer is observing from one end of the pipe and is observing the top of the building. When the top of building is visible, then hold the clinometer steady and record the angle of string max on the scale of the clinometer. This angle is required, the angle of elevation, that is theta. This angle is the angle of theta. This is the line which is parallel to the ground level, that is the horizontal line, and this is the line of sight. So this angle is your angle of theta. Okay. Measure the height L of the center of clinometer from the ground. ये जो clinometer देखो, यहाँ इसका center ये है, ये center ground level से कितना height में है. This is demarking here this symbol, that is L. Okay, the height of the center of clinometer from the ground. Measure the distance D of the school building from clinometer. Clinometer से school building कितना distance है इसको हम measure करना है. This D, that is D. D, L and theta. These are the three variables we have to measure. Repeat the above procedure keeping the clinometer at different position for measuring the value of theta, L and D for different setting. Okay, we have to measure these three variables theta, L and D, where L is the height of center of clinometer from the ground and D is distance from building to clinometer. Then observation. From the above activity, we have recorded the different measure by keeping the clinometer at different position for measuring the value of theta, L and D for different setting. We have calculated the value of h using the formula for right angle triangle tan theta equal to h by d, because of tan theta is opposite side by adjacent side. In that figure, the opposite side is h and d is the adjacent sides. So on simplification, we will get h is equal to d tan theta. At last, we calculate the height of building using formula L plus h. L is here the height of center of the clinometer from the ground, and h is the distance, that means the height from the top of clinometer above the top of school building, that is the h, and recorded the value in the below table mentioned. ये तुम्हारा टेबल है, देखो ऐसे करके इसको हम यहाँ रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं. These are the value, serial number, that is first position, second position, third position, fourth position and fifth position, and angle measure from the first position, that is 30 degree first. Then height of the protractor from the ground is 1.5 meter. Distance of the building from the center of the protractor is 5 meter. Then using all these things, we have to calculate the building height of the building, that is L plus h. That L plus h is your d tan theta. By approximation we will already simplify, that is h is equal to d tan theta. So on solving we will get 4.4 in the first question. Take the second one. The angle measure is 48 degrees suppose. Then here height is same 1.5 meter, because of this is the height of center of clinometer from the ground level. So this must be equal in all the cases. Then distance, that means distance from clinometer and the school building is very here 2.6 meter. So using this data, after calculating, we'll get the height of building, that is 1.5 plus whole into 2.6 into 1.11. That means this is the 1045 value. 1045 is here 1.1, 1048, sorry, 1048 is 1.11. So on simplification we will get 4.37. In the third case, the angle of elevation is 50 degree and height is 1.5, but distance is here 2.4 meter. So the height of the building after calculation will get, that is 4.38. In fourth position, that is angle of elevation is 25, height is same 1.5 meter. Then distance between the clinometer and building is now very 6.2, because of the angle of elevation is smaller, then distance must be longer. Okay, so 1.5 plus 6.2 into 0.45, this is the 1025 value, 0.47, and after simplification we will get 4.41. In the last fifth position, that is the angle of elevation is here 72 degree and the height is same, but the distance between the clinometer and the school building is here 1.05. Mark, when the angle of elevation is increasing, then distance between the two clinometer and school building is decreasing, and the value is now 4.39. Mark the table, last value almost all, that is equivalent to your 4.4. 4.4, second one is 4.37, means if rounded to one single digit after decimal, then this is also 4.4. 4.38, this is also 4.4, approximately 4. 4.41, 4.4 and 4.39 is also 4.4. So all the value are equal, that is up to first decimal 4.4. From the table we have verified that the height of the school building is approximately equal to 4.4 4 meters. Okay, and at last the result can write, we have verified that the height of a building using clinometer. Okay, thanks to all for listening me. This is the end of the experiment activity.